Hi, my name is Rebecca and the title of my project is The Phoenix Curse, Creating Visual Storytelling Through Semiotics and Emotion Design. Now the contents of this presentation will be what my research is about, the analysis examples, comparative text examples, what problem does my research address, why is that problem interesting and important, what is my research question, what are the relevant literatures in my field, what will I achieve, how will I achieve it, and the timeline of this project. Now, first up we have what is my research about. This research aims to explore the creative decisions that can be made within visual language through the application and study of emotion design and semiotics. This project aims to create an emotionally effective graphic novel using a fantasy-based appropriation of ancient Egypt. Now, analysis example of this I would like to analyze and explore is used within the successful graphic novel webcomic series known as Lore Olympus, written by Rachel Smythe. The techniques and semiotics and emotion design can especially be seen in the chosen colors of each of Smythe's modern representations of the Greek gods and goddesses. A few examples are written below. So first up we have Hades, the god of the underworld, who's a cold blue color, which could represent calm, sadness, serenity, peace, intelligence, wisdom, cold, solitude, gentle, caring, and cautious. Now on the opposite side of the color spectrum, we have Persephone, the goddess of spring, at a soft pink color, which could represent femininity, love, care, affection, motherhood, romanticism, funny, soft, patient, and humble. Now, to break the stereotype of boys being blue and girls being pink, we also have Hera, the goddess of marriage, who is a bright yellow color, which could represent the unknown, abstract intelligence, cheerfulness, a little bit of jealousy, optimism, and happiness. Now, in saying this, we also have a couple of comparative texts that are doing similar concepts as my intended project, which are included but not limited to Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief, the character Nasus from Riot's League of Legends, the character Skin Anubis Grand Magus from Smite, the game Hades from Supergiant Games, the game Assassin's Creed Origin from Ubisoft, and the game Immortals Phoenix Rising, also from Ubisoft. However, what I'm doing that is different is specifically looking at the academic research of how to get where they are, not just for the aesthetic. Instead, I want to research how we can go from the cultural trope, mythological trope, and fantasy trope to an emotive visual story that is engaging. What problem does the research address? This research will address how I can integrate the techniques within semiotics and emotion design into my practice of illustration and reflect on my practice, choices, and progress to study their effectiveness, as well as the problem of not many studies of these techniques used within the creative practice discipline of illustration. Why is this problem interesting and or important? Well, one picture is worth 1,000 words, yes, but only if you look at the picture and say or think the 1,000 words. So the benefits of solving and researching this problem are: it will enable me to use the same or similar frameworks to create more emotionally effective projects in the future. It will enable the ability for other creative practitioners to understand and use visual elements to create messages through the means of not only a graphic novel, but also other visual media. It can become a powerful tool to grab an audience's attention. It can enhance the use and understanding of visual communication. It can allow audiences to awaken their imaginations by connecting to the visual elements. It can make a visually entertaining story. It can give messages additional depth, and it can create a unique edge to a story. Now, what is my research question? How can an illustrator create an emotionally effective visual story in the form of a graphic novel by using semiotics and emotion design? Now, to start to answer this question, I have a few key literatures and theorists from each discipline of my field. So we have, from storytelling, we have the hero's journey, the heroine's journey, heroines of comic books and literature, portrayals in popular culture, the writer's journey, the mythic structure for writers, and directing the story, professional storytelling and storyboarding techniques for live action and animation. Now, from the emotion design discipline, we have emotional structure, creating the story beneath the plot, a guide for screenwriters, writing for emotional impact, advanced dramatic techniques to attract, engage, and fascinate the reader from beginning to end. From the emotion design discipline, we have emotional structure, creating the story beneath the plot, a guide for screenwriters, and we have writing for emotional impact, advanced dramatic techniques to attract, engage, and fascinate the reader from beginning to end. We also have from the cultural appropriation of mythology, cultural appropriation in games, a comparative study between Far Cry 3, Overwatch, and Horizon Zero Dawn, as well as cultural adoption in the World of Warcraft, Cleopatra and Rome, and empire and cultural appropriation, African artifacts and the birth of museums. Lastly, from visual studies and semiotics, we have Japanese mythology in film, a semiotic approach to reading Japanese film and animation, semiotics, the basics, as well as this means this means that, a user guide to semiotics. Now, what will I achieve? My contribution will include a 30 to 100 page fully illustrated graphic novel, a reflection and concept guide on semiotics and emotion design of my appropriation of ancient Egypt, and an exegesis. Now, upon completion of this research, I will gain the skills needed to create any future emotionally effective visual projects, whilst also contributing to the growing knowledge within the creative practice research field of illustration. How will I achieve it? So I will be using the practice-led research creative practice eclectic approach, involving the methodologies of illustration and drawing research method, as well as semiotic analysis. How does the creative artifact fit within the overall project design? The creative artifact will demonstrate that using the visual language elements of semiotics and emotion design is an effective method to create an emotionally effective graphic novel. What skills and knowledge do I have or need in order to achieve these aims? So I have the understanding of how to illustrate, the basic storytelling knowledge, basic comic creation knowledge, basic semiotics of color and shape design, as well as common visual language knowledge. I will need to research the basic semiology of Egyptian culture adaptation and appropriation, to research how to combine storytelling and illustration effectively, to research the most effective graphic novel layout and publishing method and how to apply it, and to discover what elements have a lasting emotional effect on audiences. So my proposed timeline goes from January the 7th, 2024 to August the 23rd, 2024, approximating 29 weeks. So once the Christmas break is over, I have dedicated just under 8 weeks to pre-production, starting on January the 7th, which will involve the reference gathering, research into myths I want to appropriate, their signs and symbols, the storytelling paths, concepting the story, creating the script, concepting character, creature, environment, and logo designs, which include the character sheets and concept sheets, and researching publishing methods. Now, once pre-production has completed, after I have dedicated a 1 week study break and catch-up break if needed, as well as then diving straight into 12 weeks for production, which will include putting the script into illustration, so the sketch lines, colors, shadows, all that sort of thing, putting the graphic novel into a ready-to-publish format, and recording the progress at any point for the reflection stage through Procreate and the webcam. Now, once production has been completed, I have dedicated another small 1 week break for either a break or a catch-up if needed, and then 2 weeks for post-production, including the final polish of the graphic novel, all progress videos being uploaded and getting ready to go, and some reflections on how it went. Now, after all this, we have 5 weeks for the exegesis write-up before the final submission, concluding on the 23rd of August, totaling in the 29 weeks. My reference list of slide 1 of and then slide 2, as well as my image references. Now, thanks for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them, or if any suggestions or any of that sort of thing. Again, thanks for listening. Have a good one.